Well, we bring to you these three top stories. The first being how long is left before DM dissolves and dies, now that a section of it is pledging their loyalty immediately to President Ruto, and a section of it is intending to keep the legacy of Raila Odinga alive post 2027 and in continuity. Our second story is, who was President Ruto addressing with his speech? Was it Uhuru Kenyatta? Was it the populace that has been previously rallying behind Raila Odinga, or was it the international community? And we'll finish this pod with this last story, the loud absence of Rigathi Gachagua in this entire period that the enigma Raila Odinga was being mourned, and the intention behind it. Was he avoiding Uhuru Kenyatta? Was he avoiding to share the same podium with William Ruto? Or was his hate for Raila Odinga so strong that it even transcended beyond death? I'm your host Ogola, and this is the Civic Lens. Now, the numbers are going down so fast. Our statistics as per this morning is that 71% of our viewers still interact with our content, then forget to subscribe. I humbly make a request at this point that please hit the subscribe button. Now let's delve in. How much longer before ODM dissolves? ODM party is currently the longest serving party in Kenya consecutively. By this I mean, it has been here for over 20 years, fronting a candidate for the past 4 elections. Most other parties have since died, and if they have not died, then they have not successively fronted candidates for the past 4 elections. Others have even deformed to form other coalitions. But this one party that for a long time was being solidified by the enigma Raila Odinga has been here for over 20 years. It was set to celebrate its 20-year celebration coming this November in Mombasa, a celebration that now will not have the founder member of that party and the party leader Raila Odinga being part of it because of his sudden demise, and may his soul rest in peace. Now, this playground has been left for young people, with the leadership of the party now being transferred to Honorable Oburu Oginga, and the mini leadership of the party still in the hands of Gladys Wanga, Simba Arati, and the gentleman from Coast. The voice of the party is still Edwin Sifuna, and some of the renowned party members who have had infights in the party and have never left include Babu Owino and the likes. But will these voices rally behind one voice now that Raila is dead? That's the question we are asking, and the analysis begin. You see, Winnie has said that she is ready to come back. If you're all wondering, she said it in her speech at Opoda Farm that she's ready. She has worked across the world and she's ready to come back home. This statement being made at a time that she's sending her father to heaven, you could say so, for the last respects being paid to her father, is very symbolic in the political scene. What Winnie was saying is that create room for me because I need room to come back home in the political scene. And she perhaps needs that to gain the experience that is the Kenyan, in the Kenyan political scene. She even made her eulogy in Luo to tap into that particular voter mass that her father used to have. If you see the brother Raila Jr., he's shaking the fly whisk and doing the traditionals, but people have said it requires some time to actually be mentored into the political scene.
I always forget salutations, but Your Excellency, dignitaries, fellow mourners, and all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Dotura, untie, baba nendo. Oyweyo ajigi ere ajigi enkai Pianeka. Give him a mic. Give him a mic.
Joey! Joey! Joey Guambo! Joey! Joey! Yamolo! Amolo Joe! Amolo Uruganda Joe! Amolo Joe! Amolo Joe! Ruto Joe! Wajumbe Joe! Agweyo mogik nikech Amolo kamoro amora mane entie noluonga mondo agwe atimo niero kamano wini kuom timo gimitimo ni adwa ni mondo agwe na Amolo. Juogi dwaro ni mondo ayud sigara maber nikech Amolo nohero sigweya to adwaro sigweya maber, sigweya mana akwongo gweyone. Amolo koko mar jonanga ruodhi. Amogi wugo mune wanele. Kauja kone makowiruat. Yaye kura logo agongo bono. Raila kobuodo to en mulale rawiera. Orao Moi. Orao Kibaki. Orao Uhuru. Kawuono omiyowa broad-based government. To Amolo mosruwa jodongo man malo. Mosruwa jodongo man malo. Piny osiko to ok sikie. Obila jura ura chulo kwa bono dhiko jusa kuda the head how much the money nyara kumkokote kwata jokalongni. Ajiki kobi amo.
Jotura. Ang'eyo ni un gi lit kendo un gi rem. Beduru mana gi kwe kende. Nyasaye biro miwa loch. Ji osebedo kawoyo marach e wi bondo ka. Wakuod wigi kendo wanyisgi ni bondo ka nigi sibor. They wrote for me a speech, but today I have nothing to say. I want to thank you all, and there are a few people here I would like to specifically thank. To the staff of Baba, led by George Okong Opondo, Mr. Andrew Mondo, thank you for your loyalty and support. To Dennis Onyango, Keta Onyango, Morris Ocheng, Jack Nyamburi, Florence Olang, Ibrahim Auma, Jeff Foyer, Manuel Wanson, and others, thank you. To the staff of East Africa Spectre, Joff, and all the other officers, thank you. To Washington, Martin, Victor, Rose, Jackie, David, Caleb, Steve, Joanne, Joyce, and others, thank you. And finally, to the late George Odwor, Eric Ominde, Juma, and my partner, Maurice Ogeta. On behalf of the Odinga family, thank you all for your love and service. Your Excellency, our people appreciate you honoring our father. Thank you for standing with us. You should also know, in case you are wondering, I'm ready to come back home, if you are wondering. To all the leaders we visited around the world, I will return personally to thank you. Thank you, Kenya. God bless you all. God bless the Republic. God bless Baba's legacy. Long, the king is dead, but long live the crown. Thank you.
Now, as this is happening within the Odinga spectrum, within the party, things are happening differently. The people who have been left at cabinet secretaries under the Ruto government have since alleged to Ruto that now their political loyalty that existed with Raila Odinga has been transferred to Ruto. This was the statements of Sam Atandi, who was actually given the position that previously Ndindi Nyoro was holding within the National Assembly. And Kenyans attacked him, saying that the ground has not even rested. The ground is still fresh. Baba has not even spent a night in the grave, and you have transferred your loyalty to Ruto. But Atandi was not acting in isolation. Wandai has confirmed that they will run with Ruto post 2027. Joho is in the same trail. Our Paranya has not been so vocal about it, but these individuals, including Gladys Wanga, are showing potency of the ODM party staying in the broad-based government until 2027 and beyond. But some party members are not taking this bullshit. Among them is the Secretary General of the party, Edwin Sifuna, who has told them to remember the last speech Raila made prior to his demise, which was the public statement he made for the parliamentary members of the ODM party, asking them to shy away from campaigning for Ruto in 2027 and beyond, saying that ODM will front a candidate in 2027.
Who's told you that ODM will not have a candidate in 2027? Who has told you? You have not passed any resolution as a party to say how we are going to go into the election of 2027. So wherever you are, don't commit the party to some things which have not been discussed.
Issue on politics, refer to Baba's speech. Issue on broad-based government, refer to Baba's speech. If you are in doubt, refer to Baba's speech. And if you want to know more, refer to Baba's speech.
Raila then turned the heat on those in the party opposed to the broad-based arrangement with the Kenya Kwanza administration.
In times like these, it is possible to be lost in competing campaigns or populism and forget that leading means making decisions that may sometimes invite booing instead of cheers.
Emmanuel Toh, Citizen TV.
So when Sifuna stood up, he made that very clear to the ODM party members that let us not discuss any relationship with Ruto, because that was not the intention of Baba in his last address. And Sifuna said that for the spirit of Baba and being a Baba boy, he will see to it to the end that the ODM party remains as Raila wanted it.
Nimekuwa nikijiuliza, wherever Baba is, what is it that I can say or do that will actually make him proud? What are the things that we should do as a leadership of the party right now to make Baba smile from wherever he is? And in my view, this is not the time to push divisive narratives in ODM. This is not the time. You all know, nyinyi wote mnajua ya kwamba chama cha ODM ni chama cha kila mtu, si ndio? Chama cha Kenya nzima. Na lazima sisi kama viongozi wa chama tuonyeshe umoja ili hawa ndugu zetu ambao ni wanachama wafuate mfano wetu. Nataka niseme hapa mbele yako baba, ya kwamba chama hiki ambacho umetuachia, mimi Sifuna sitakuwa baadhi ya wale ambao watachangia kuangusha chama cha Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba, because ODM is one of your biggest legacies, Your Excellency Baba, I as Sifuna will do everything in my power to keep this party united and together. Even in the face of open provocation, Baba, you know what I am talking about. You know why I'm saying that. So, mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba vile Reverend Wesonga ametuambia hapa, baba alikuwa anasikiza wananchi. Baba alikuwa anasikiza wananchi. Na mimi nataka kuencourage wanachama wa ODM. Sisi viongozi sasa tunyamaze kidogo, tusikie nyinyi mnasema nini. Nyinyi mtuambie mnataka tufanye nini na chama cha baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Namaliza nikisema baba Raila Amolo Odinga alizungumza wazi mbele ya nchi nzima tarehe 22 mwezi uliopita mbele ya hawa wabunge katika hoteli ya Agile pale Nairobi. Baba aliongea kwa kinywa chake mwenyewe, na waomba viongozi msiingize maneno kwa mdomo ya mtu ambaye amelala. Alisema yeye mwenyewe, akasema kama chama lazima tujiandae kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027. Na wale ambao wanaeneza mambo mengine hapa, baba alisema who has told you? Who has told you? Who has told you? Kwa hivyo sisi tutafuata the last standing instruction ya baba ambaye alitoa chini ya siku 23 ambazo zimepita kabla afariki. Kwa hayo mengi, ni jukumu langu pia kama katibu mkuu wa chama, Mheshimiwa Rais, ilinivunja moyo sana kwamba baba alitoka Nairobi bila kusikia sauti za watu wa Nairobi wakisema tuko tayari. Sasa ni jukumu la hawa ambao wamefika hapa leo. Nataka mseme chant ya chama cha ODM mpaka baba ajue anazikwa na wanachama wa ODM. Nikisema ODM, tunasema tuko tayari. Muko tayari? Muko tayari? ODM! 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 Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Now, Babu and Amisi, on the other hand, are doing individual calculations. They are looking at their calculations based on the ODM party, whether or not this party is going to be sustainable post-2027, or whether or not it's their time to create their own paths now that Raila is gone. Now, here's the catch. The ODM party has survived the 20 years because of Raila. Raila was the unifying factor in the ODM party, the voice of reason that existed within the ODM party. The members of this party and officials of this party are politicians. They have support of their own, they have following of their own, and they are not going to lower their support or the following of their own to serve another politician who, according to their own lenses, does not fit the spectrum of Baba. Now, this infights is what perhaps they had foreseen, and Oburu was installed temporarily to be the party leader. You saw Wandai saying that they are going to hold a conference to certify the position of Oburu as the official party leader from the delegates of the party themselves.
In the community. And generally the followership of Baba as a whole. Thirdly and lastly, indeed, is to affirm that Baba has left us as a people in government. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga has left us in government led by President William Ruto. And that is where we are going to stay. Till the end. Yes. Till the end. And I can dare say, without any fear of contradiction, that we are going to walk step by step with President William Ruto to the end. Now and beyond 2027. That I must say from here. I must say from here. And ODM, which is the party that I belong to, and that all of us here belong to, has made a very wise decision to appoint Dr. Oburu Oginga as the acting party leader.
Yes. The leading party.
In fact, I will be proposing as a life member of ODM that the ODM convenes very, very quickly, soon after Baba's send-off, the National Delegates Convention, to actually confirm Dr. Oburu's appointment and in fact to elect him formally as the party leader of ODM. Because we believe Dr. Oburu Oginga has got the wherewithal, the necessary experience and the composure to steer this party to the next level, whilst working closely with our partners in the broad-based government, who are UDA, led by President William Ruto. So I want to remove any doubts whatsoever from whomsoever's mind that this region will remain intact. This region is going to remain intact within ODM and is going to get leadership and direction from the party leader, that is Dr. Oburu Oginga, going forward. Youth leader. So that is what and finally, as we send off Baba on Sunday, we shall be receiving very many guests who are coming from outside Siaya County. And some will be coming from outside Kenya indeed. So we expect our people to accord our guests, all of them, without exception.
The Oginga still having reins over the party gives the party some lifeline and gives the CS and affiliates of the government some time to negotiate whatever they want out of their current arrangement with the government. But it is not in the best interest of the people. If the people of the ODM party want a party leader, then it's upon the people of the ODM party to choose the party leader and not the officials of the party to impose a party leader who will serve for a period of time when the underdogs are the people who will be calling the shots. Now, Oburu has been blamed to be not so as strong as Raila, even from his own speeches. His leadership is weak and there is no level-headedness. Now, there's no temperament in ODM that will match the Raila Odingas, and so that particular loophole shows a possibility of the ODM party not surviving post its 20-year celebration. The celebration will occur, the delegates will ask questions, but we are here at the Civic Lens yet to see how the delegation in Mombasa is going to turn out and who is going to be picked to be the leader of that party moving forward until 2027 and post 2027. But now that there is no level-headedness, the party leadership is weak and the hierarchy is divided whether they should support Ruto or keep the Raila Odinga's legacy. We are predicting that it's likely that by 2030 the key officials of the ODM party will have bolted to join the government or the UDA government, and others will have bolted to form their own paths now that the guy who was the fabric of the party holding it all together has been called to be with God. We will keep you updated on this transition of the ODM party to a new party leadership and even to the conversations of whether or not they should front a candidate in 2027 with the Secretary General supporting that and the cabinet secretaries affiliated to the party currently working for the government shying away from that position. Now let's look at this. Who was President Ruto really addressing? The death of Raila has occurred at a time that most people feared. It is the fear of our generation actually. Most of us feared to live and see a government or a Kenya without Raila Odinga. Now people have come before us, have lived and gone, and they have seen Kenya with Raila Odinga. Now, maybe it's a new era, or maybe it's an end of an era, but this particular time requires patience and humility to see how we transit into an era that we really are not sure of. And I'm saying this because now there are placards being shared online targeting a demonstration next week. This is coming shortly, just a week or a few days after Baba is laid to rest. These particular things will arise. As I said, there is a lot of emotions that has been bottled up that Raila actually helped in bottling up, and these emotions are actually going to arise. Now, as they arise, who was Ruto targeting with his speech? See, Ruto is a president who has witnessed the end of Raila. When yesterday he said, finally, the man has gone to Bondo in his condolence messages, he was attacked by the former presidential candidate Kagame, saying that when you use the word finally, it seems like it was your intention all along. Perhaps that was grammar, perhaps that was well intended, perhaps the attacks from Kagame are politics. But let's look at his speech. Ruto's speech saying that he was told not to hold a state funeral for Raila but still went ahead to hold the state funeral for Raila was a message to the Nyanza people.
Wengi walijaribu kuniambia ya kwamba Raila hakukuwa rais. Kwa hivyo heshima yake ishushwe chini kidogo. Mimi nikawaambia hata kama hakuwa rais, he was the people's president. Na kwa hivyo apatiwe heshima ya kutoshana na rais. Ndugu zangu, mimi sitaki kusema kuzidi hapo. Nataka ni mheshimu Mama Aida kwa kutusaidia kuchunga huyu kiongozi wetu. Watoto wake by standing with their father. Familia nzima ya Jaramogi for the contribution they have made and for allowing Raila to be part and parcel of many families, not just the Jaramogi family.
And that he did very categorically. Ruto is a smart chess player. His statements of politics are not to be taken lightly. He thinks of a political scene beyond what's happening. He looks at mourning as a way of gaining respect. He looks at respect as a way of recruitment. And the people that he recruits into his team become so solidly his supporters that you cannot fetch them off until he disposes them off. And right now, he has consolidated all the dynasty families. The Oginga now that is under his arms, the Uhuru Kenyatta legacy, the Kenyatta legacy is under his arms. The Moi legacy has just joined his arms lately. This shows you his political chess games and his political accumulation. So his speech that he was told not to hold a state funeral for Raila and still went ahead to hold a state funeral for Raila is a target to the Nyanza people. He's trying to show the Nyanza people that he regarded their leader beyond even the Nyanza people themselves regarding their leader. And he's trying to show them that he intended with all his muscles as the president to go beyond all naysayers and give Raila a state funeral. This turns from anger to sympathy. People now are listening to him in the Nyanza region, not with anger, but with a little love based on sympathy for being the individual that went against everyone telling him not to do something and did it for their person, for their enigma, the Raila Odinga one. And then it also sends some message to Uhuru Kenyatta, who was seated in that podium. Ruto is trying to show Uhuru Kenyatta that perhaps I came after you, perhaps you mentored me into politics and I was your vice president, and when I was your deputy president, perhaps you humiliated me until a point that I wanted to leave. But the message he's sending to Uhuru Kenyatta right now is this, that he has acquired an emotional intelligence level with the Kenyan voters that Uhuru Kenyatta did not acquire. So Mr. Kenyatta might stand and be cheered as much as the people are cheering him whenever he stands, and Ruto might not have the cheers, but Ruto has buried an enigma without any eruption occurring in the country because of his systematic emotional planning. So he is showing President Kenyatta that really it's my time, and I have done something that you didn't do in your time of getting to the level of understanding the emotional intelligence of the voters and playing to it. Ruto, who was an enemy that could have not stepped in Nyanza sometimes back, was received as a king in Nyanza. Until the end, there was no interruption, and right now, Nyanza officials are even pledging loyalty to him. Then, he is speaking to the international community. He's coming out as a leader that goes beyond tribalism, transcends divisions within a country, and unites. And by this, he unites to the core that even if his previous opponent in an election passes on, he takes it as his mantle to give him a state funeral. So Ruto's chess speech or speech that was a chess play needs to be taken as a move, a manipulation move to raid the voter mass of Raila Odinga just shortly after his burial, and that is going to work in his favor. Now that he has the Kenyatas, he has the Odingas, he has the Mois, the only target that Ruto has not fully tapped on is the people. And when we're talking about the people in line of the Raila Odinga supporters and the affiliates from Nyanza, now Ruto is raiding that backyard, and is raiding it very slowly with the cabinet secretaries and the PS that come from that region who currently are rallying support behind him. So we are yet to see how this support, this voter block of Nyanza is going to play come 2027, whether or not they are going to rally behind Ruto's new chess games, or they are going to be independent in thought and find a particular leader to rally them to the mythical canon that Raila has died without handing them over to. Then the third story, the loud absence of Rigathi Gachagua. Now this had people talking. You see, previously Rigathi's hate for Raila is something that is known. Huyo mzee, huyo kijana wa mtendawili, tutamrudisha bondo. Those are the statements that he was using during the 2022 presidential campaign. And his hate for Raila was so entrenched that he said that there will be no room for handshake when they take power. So they took power, Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto. Very well they did. And for 2 years, Rigathi Gachagua was serving as the deputy president for William Ruto. The person that broke the yoke and had Rigathi Gachagua going out and came in to influence whatever Rigathi was previously influencing was this old man who was now rested in peace, Raila Odinga. So perhaps that hate is so strong that Rigathi Gachagua did not want to come to the burial of this individual. Or perhaps the unity of the mountain is so strong, and the stories that the mountain have been told about Raila Odinga are of course very sad to hear. Now that he passed on, statements were being actually shared on X by young Gen Zs on what they were told about Raila when they were growing up, and I have to actually admit that there were very, very heartbreaking stories, and stories based on myths and stereotypes. So Rigathi, being the supporter, the gatekeeper of the mountain, and whoever he is in the mountain region, perhaps has internalized these stories and do not want to outturn his people's belief on Raila Odinga by being part of the people that go to bury him, so much that he decided not to show up. That's one possibility. Another possibility we could say is that Rigathi Gachagua does not want to share a podium anymore with William Ruto and Kindiki after being ousted as the deputy president. And so he saw this as an opportunity of evading a platform of William Ruto and Kindiki as much as he can. You know, for fact's sake, Rigathi Gachagua has not shared a platform with Ruto and Kindiki since Kindiki came into power. And so this was the platform that Kenyans were hoping perhaps he'd show up. He did not show up. And then there is the thought that perhaps he didn't want to share the platform with Uhuru. All these are thoughts, but what happened is that the entire united opposition team, including their spokesperson, were there. Matiang'i was there, Martha was there, Kalonzo was there, Muturi was there, Eugene went with bulls to the burial of Raila, Natembea went, and they all showed solidarity because Raila had died. I mean, there is no hate that can transcend death. Rigathi Gachagua, on the other hand, was busy celebrating the birthday of his loved one, Pastor Dorcas, with his family and friends, and he did not show up at the burial of Odinga. So I will finish this pod with a story. A story is told of a meeting that is being held by animals, because one particular foreigner has been attacking these animals consistently in the animal farm and killing them and eating their meat. So the animals decide to meet together so that they can negotiate with this foreign attacker on what the foreign attacker wants so that he can leave them alone. So as these animals are walking to the meeting area, they meet an owl, and the owl is walking to an opposite direction. And then they ask the owl, "Where are you going?" "Yet we are going to a meeting." Then the owl says, "I have some personal engagement I have to attend to, but send my regards. In the next meeting, I will surely be there." So all the animals meet except the owl. They meet the foreigner and then they negotiate. Then the foreigner says, "Okay, so that I don't attack you anymore, just give me one particular animal out of all of you, and I will not attack you anymore." Who do you think the animals sacrificed? The owl that did not attend the event. So in absence of such places, sometimes you might think it's a smart move to pursue an individual gain over a collective gain, but sometimes it's a shoot on the feet. This